It's been a heck of a 5 weeks.
That I've done it before and I can do it again, so I think
The 2019 CrossFit Games Open is over, and ironically, it's the worst finish that I've had in the last 6 years, and it's probably the 1 year that the Open has mattered the most, which is, to be honest, a little bit frustrating and disappointing, and I'm trying to keep a positive outlook on everything, and I'm still developing a plan to help me do so, but right now, just looking back, it's a little bit of a bummer to have really given something your all for 5 weeks straight, and I don't want to say it was all for naught, but to not achieve the result that you desired was disappointing.
Hang on!
It's not necessarily that I'm casting a positive image on social media or anything, but I think that that's a genuine piece of me that is being open and honest with people, and I really am trying to move forward and stay motivated and optimistic. And that exists within me, but then there's also this small piece that exists within me that is a little bit bummed out and disappointed, and it's been tough. I think this has probably been the most stressful Open that I've been through in terms of having stuff in my general personal life going on that are really hard to deal with, and I don't know if that maybe played a role and impacted my performance. I don't necessarily think so. I think my performance across the 5 weeks was relatively consistent, but that adding in with the stress of having to make a big comeback after week 1 and realizing at a certain point that it wasn't going to make a difference and I probably wasn't going to qualify, like that all added up, and it just was kind of a big release once the Open ended. I think now it's time to reflect, reset, devise a plan, and then just attack that moving forward. Before the Open started, I felt great. I have been really healthy. I had a relatively decent lead up to the Open, performed okay at Wodapalooza. You guys know that story. It wasn't perfect, but it was good, and I felt confident about that. Training had been going well since then, so coming into the Open, I was excited. I thought that that would be a place that I'd be able to shine like I have in the past. And then they announced the first workout, and wham, it was a combination of 2 movements that if you would have asked me ahead of time, which 2 movements don't you want to see show up throughout the Open, and I had to pick 2, I probably would have said, I could do without wall balls and rowing. And lo and behold, the first workout is a 15-minute AMRAP of 19 wall balls and 19 calories on the rower. So without letting that get into my head too much, I tried to be confident in the fact that we have trained that and I have gotten better at that. And to be honest, when I finished the workout,
116.
I felt okay about it. You know, sometimes you'll finish a workout and think, all right, that didn't go too poorly. I didn't do too bad there.
I had to dig a little deeper, push a little harder, but it was worth it.
And then as the leaderboard continued to update, I thought, oh, wait a second. Yes, actually, I did do quite poorly there. And actually, saying that now, I don't think that I did perform poorly. I think that it was good execution and a good effort on my part. And unfortunately, there were just so many other people that had a higher capacity with those 2 movements that put a ton of points between myself and what a good score would have been. And looking back on the workout, I still almost feel confused. I went back and watched and made sure that I counted the rounds and reps right to make sure I put in the right score, and I did. And it's weird because I rode, I think, right at the edge of what my capacity is on the rower, just about 1,400 calories per hour every round. I got right off the rower, picked the wall ball up, and did all 19 unbroken every single set. So looking back, I can't even think of what I would change in order to give myself the 10 reps that I needed in order to qualify for the games. I went back and did the math, and I took 792nd place on workout 1. there was a 400-point gap between where I finished overall in the open and what would have put me just above the qualifying cut line on the leaderboard. So in order to remove 400 points from that first score, I would have needed to do 10 more reps in that workout. That's 3 wall balls and 7 calories on the row. I'm sure it's possible. If I were to do the workout again, I could find time to squeeze that amount of reps out. But I don't really have any regrets because I did the workout twice. I ended up improving by, I think, 13 reps the second time I did it. So it's just a tough pill to swallow when it's something that minuscule, and when every other performance went really, really well and I was at the top of 30 maximum in the world on all 4 other workouts. So on one hand, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, okay, that gives me the confidence that I can still hang like I am one of the top CrossFit athletes in the world based on these workouts. And it was only 10 reps that separated me from being considered one of the top and getting my invite to the games. But still, it's a little disappointing because I don't have the invite now, and I need to go and kind of, not necessarily scramble, but I need to figure something out and make sure I get an invitation before it gets too late. So week 2 ended up being a repeat of a workout that we had done in 2016, toe to bar double unders and heavy cleans in ascending weight. And the first attempt on that workout, I did okay. Not quite as good as I had done in the past, but I finished the workout, and that was kind of my backup goal. I wanted to beat my original time. If I didn't do that, I wanted to at least finish the workout in the 20-minute cap. So I did, and I felt like it was a well-executed, good effort performance. And when I talked to my coach and we decided that I was going to redo the workout, he kind of assessed it and said, I think you need to do the exact same thing, but just faster. And I thought, well, to me, that wasn't great advice, because I was like, I feel like I went as fast as I could. Now you're telling me just to go faster. I don't think I got fitter in 3 days. I don't know how I'm going to do that. So I had a lot of doubt throughout the weekend before I went into the redo that I was going to be able to perform better. But decided to give it a shot anyway. I felt great the day of, high energy, really confident.
No Ohlsen at peak 360, open workout 19.2.2. Let's do it. We're just going sub 19.
3, 2, 1, go.
And I was able to do it. I pulled it off. I finished in 18:28, which I think was a whole 30 seconds better than the first attempt, and was a handful of seconds better than in 2016. So that one felt good. That was kind of like the start of the comeback. That gave me this big emotional catharsis, like a big scream that I got to let out after that final clean. That was just like, reassurance, like, okay, I can do this. Let's go. Let's keep the ball rolling and get the train moving on the tracks in the right direction. So after 18.2, I think I had gone from 792nd place all the way up to like 200th place, which was still not great, but to jump 500 spots in 1 week gave me the confidence that I could continue to climb.
Well, just finished redoing 19.2. I went about a minute and change faster than on Friday, which feels amazing. And honestly, it feels the best because I was dealing with so much self-doubt over the weekend, just really not believing that I could do any better. I couldn't see where I'd be able to make up time. Max basically said to do the same thing but faster, and that there was nothing for me to grasp there in order to make significant change, but I tried it and I did it. I did the same thing but went a little bit faster, and final time is 18:28, whereas Friday it was 19:38, so minute and 10 faster. Super happy with that. We'll see where it stacks up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you for 19.3.
And then 18.3 rolled around, and that was a great workout for me. We had overhead walking lunges, box step-ups, and handstand push-ups that finished with handstand walks. My buddy Chandler came into town and we got to throw down together, which was awesome. That made it another positive experience on week 3 of the Open. I performed really well. I think I got down close to the 8-minute mark, which was almost a minute faster than some of the guys that had demoed the workout at that time. So that gave me a big boost of confidence, and I even felt like there was some room that I could have made up there to possibly go sub 8, which I knew not many people had done and probably not many people would do once that score was closed on the leaderboard. So decided to redo that one again on Monday, and I did it. I was able to take a little bit of time off the first 2 movements by just moving faster, cut a little bit of time on the strict handstand push-ups, and again, just seconds of time on the in-between handstand walks. And I knew I wanted to just finish sub 8, and I kind of mapped it out to where I finished right under that. It was 7:54, I think, and was one of maybe 5 or 6 people in the world that were able to finish that workout in under 8 minutes. So that was a great score. In fact, it was 8 in total. It was 8th place. And again, another confidence booster, going from now 200th place overall on the leaderboard up into, I think, right at the 100 place mark. So was about to crack into the top 100 and had still 2 weeks to go.
It's tough. I gotta really climb and try to fight my way to come back and make it into the top. And I think being able to look back and reference Wadapalooza and having made a big comeback there, and it just gives me the confidence that I've done it before and I can do it again. So I think it's perfect that I experienced that about a month ago and now get to draw from that here in the Open to make another significant comeback.
Yeah, I mean, just the positivity continued to build. It felt cool. It felt like I was telling this story, another comeback story. I was like, all right, guys, kind of come along for the journey. You guys know that I didn't do well on that first workout, but it's been 2 more weeks and I'm showing myself that I can do it. Hopefully I'm showing everybody else that I can do it. And it was fun to start to get some feedback from people and see that they were along for this emotional journey with me and that they wanted to see me succeed and started to get excited at the same time that I was, as I was doing better and better. Week 4 was the best one yet. I actually thought when I read the workout, if they had asked me to write a workout in my favor for that 4th week, I probably would have picked those 3 movements: bar facing burpees, light snatches, and some variation of muscle ups. My first attempt at 19.4 ended up being a great score in itself.
Well, I think he probably could have gone a little bit faster, but it's okay.
Okay. Just tough at the end. That was the best I could for attempt 1. See if we can shave some time off in a couple days.
Decided once again, wanted to leave everything out there and wanted to redo it on Monday. So when Monday rolled around, it was kind of the same plan as it had been the past few workouts. Do it again, just faster. So I shaved about 20 seconds off the first chunk of the workout, which left me feeling it a little bit more for the second part of the workout, but it was so important to me to just hang on and get through it that I did it once again and went from an 8:33 down to an 8:13, which was a 3rd place overall finish in the world. Again, that got me really excited, and I kind of waited for the leaderboard to update and refresh, and I thought that a 3rd place was gonna bump me way, way up. And it did, kind of, but things had started to change, whereas that first workout, 10 reps was 400 spots on the leaderboard. Now, 20 seconds, which was what I had cut off my first time into my second time, was like 3 spots. Had I not redone the workout and kept my original 8:33 time versus cutting it down to 8:13, I would have gone, instead of 3rd place, which was that faster time, I would have taken 5th place, which there almost seems to be a bigger gap there, but it didn't really make as much of a difference. It was a little frustrating that, all right, I finally kicked butt and I didn't get rewarded for it as much as I got punished for having not as great of a score on week 1. So the leaderboard finally updates, and I think going into week 5, the final week of the Open, I was in something like 75th place. And as optimistic as I wanted to be, there were still 400 points between where I was sitting currently and what would have been a qualifying spot. So I don't know, I kind of came to the realization, I wanted to be honest with myself that even though I would go out and give it my all, the chances were slim to none that I was going to be able to pull off the full comeback and get myself a qualifying spot through the Open. Knowing that no matter what, even if again I had taken first place in the world in that workout, that it wasn't going to change whether or not I qualified for the games, I kind of did a one and done and decided that rather than kind of hanging on to something that was like a futile attempt at, I was just going to shut it down and put the Open behind me and start to move on and devise a plan, because I definitely wasn't ready to hang up my season. And I had seen some people say that the Open didn't go as well as they wanted it to, and they were just gonna gear up for the next Open, which is now in October, so it's not that far away, but that's absolutely not even a consideration to me. I'm going to be at the CrossFit Games this year. It's just a matter of how. And the how now is deciding on which of the sanctioned events I wanna go participate in, and I need to pull off a win. So I'm fully prepared to train and make it happen. I think that I'm probably gonna participate in 3 sanctioned events in the month of May. Right in the middle is the Rogue Invitational, which I have decided that I'll be a part of. Before that and after that, there are 2 options. Prior to the Rogue, there is either the Italian Showdown or the Iceland competition, so probably be going to one of the 2 of those. After the Rogue competition at the end of May is either the French Throwdown or the Granite Games. So one of the 2 at the beginning, Rogue in the middle, and then one of those 2 at the end. Looking forward to seeing you guys there and hopefully having my spot locked up at the first one and maybe even going to compete at the other 2 just for fun. How now, brown cow? The old Open. Those darn clouds. I actually thought when I read that, it actually ended up being, excuse me, I was coming in hot. So, yeah, all right, I'll get serious. My first attempt at 8, is that your mustache in your mouth? It's long. And then,